Welcome to Adventures Walking as One, where we will explore what it really looks like to walk in the same direction on the same path as husband and wife.
We are Mark and Carol Schweiger of Walk as One Ministries, and we believe marriage is the greatest adventure and one worth preparing for.
I like that. What do you want to talk about?
We are going to talk about the importance of getting away. It is so important.
I like getting away.
You know, you got to leave it so you don't lose it.
Yeah.
And there are times when I'm losing it and I got to leave. So, it's a vacation for the soul.
I think we kind of alternate on that, right?
We do.
One week you're losing it, next week I'm losing it.
Yeah, but usually it's me that's losing it more often, I think. But, there are times when I'm just at the end of myself and I've got to get out of the four walls of the home or change up the environment and release the pressure, right? And there are times when we need to go together because I'm not feeling connected. And that is so important to reconnect.
It's amazing to me that we know that we're supposed to do the marriage thing, we need to be connected, and yet still, today, after doing this for, how many years have we been doing this? Like 38 years?
38 years.
Like that. It's a long time. Still, we pack our schedules, both of our schedules and our combined schedules, so full that we don't have time for each other.
Right.
Which is amazing to me that we keep doing that.
Yeah. But, I don't want our relationship to be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we put everything else above there, right? Because it's all important stuff.
There are important things, but there are times when you just have to black out that calendar and don't tell anybody you have nothing to do.
Well, and even like church stuff, people need help. That always happens. But if everything is always more important, then we're not going to survive.
That's
and so
right.
that has to be a priority. Because without the time for spiritually, physically, and mentally connecting, I guess like I've already said, our relationship's going to wither.
Right. And it gets really overtiring and dull. That relationship can just fade away because there's not adequate communication or even sex, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we have to separate time away from the day-to-day activities and connect with each other. So this is what getting away will do.
Now, you got me thinking, when you ask me if I want to go on vacation, what do I usually say?
Yeah, warm and sunny.
And right when we started this, that's been in my head. Warm and sunny. Actually, it's warm and sunny at a beach where there's nobody else, and there's just two chairs.
Two lounge chairs. Right.
Okay, I know. I digress.
You digressed?
Yes, I did. I did badly.
Okay, so we have to get refreshed, right?
Yes.
And in that refreshing, it's connecting as husband and wife. Just really reconnecting and having those deeper intimacy moments of communicating and just being together. Sometimes that's really what it takes is setting that time apart and being together.
We did that on our last trip, so we didn't go with anybody else. And it's fortunate because we were able to talk a little bit more.
Yeah.
Kind of a tease. We'll talk a little bit more about that on our next podcast, right?
That's right. But a time to reflect in the relationship, maybe even measuring, celebrating milestones that we've made or planning a future. What are we doing in the future? What's coming up? What do we want to see? What changes do we need to make? Those are all important. And to dream. We like to dream.
Yes,
and
I love
it's
dreaming.
Fun.
Yes. It's
fun. Now, whether we do everything doesn't matter, but we usually do.
And we can't frown at each other when we bring up the ideas.
No,
I think we
there's
both
no
had
bad
ideas this year. It's like, but you can't do that.
No.
Because it's a dream.
Even the one you mentioned the other day about going shooting down in Texas, I'm like, okay, fine. Not what I would want to do, but I know it's important to you. And I probably should do it anyway for the practice. But
it'd be a lot of fun.
I'm sure it would be a lot of fun. All right. Well, we'll talk about that one later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
almost got me going down to Camp Perry and somebody
In Ohio.
But yeah.
But another thing is reducing stress,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, but home projects like the roof that's leaking on the porch, and I get an inch of ice built up. And right now we have so many deliveries. I think probably everybody gets deliveries from Amazon all the time now, right? Maybe
Or
that's just
somewhere.
but the porch is icy, so
Right.
it could cause problems. And there's a level of stress because I couldn't do anything about that for a while.
Yeah, but if you go away or you do a getaway, you don't have to think about
Yeah, I
all
don't
those
have to
things.
think about it.
You just get away. Leave those responsibilities behind.
Although I have
right?
Ring doorbell. So my Ring doorbell goes off and says, hey, there's somebody there.
Yeah.
So if you go away, ditch the phone.
Yes.
I guess
Disconnect the ring.
Yeah, disconnect the ring. Disconnect the ring.
Right. But you want to refresh the marriage.
Yes.
So I was reading Song of Solomon, and in the commentary of my Bible, it said, married couples should continually work at refreshing each other with things like encouraging words, an unexpected gift, a change of pace, which would be the getaway, a surprise call or a note, and even having discussions at the proper time.
I like the notes part. We used to leave each other a lot of notes.
Yeah.
I think we still do occasionally. But notes are always nice. Shows up in some place where you're not expecting it.
Yes.
You left one
Under
on
a
the steering
pillow.
wheel. Under a pillow, yeah. So but those are nice ways to encourage each other.
Yeah. And we both have to be kind of that haven of refreshing for each other and not wait for the other person to do it, but take the initiative to do it. Right?
I like that. I like that word haven because it implies a protection from the outside world, and it really is.
It is, because the world's not going to give it to you
Yes.
at all.
No, they want to destroy marriages right now. I
Right.
think the world in general.
Right.
And so the other part, my favorite part about getting away,
What?
I don't know if it's my favorite part, but having fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we both probably like to go out and have fun.
We do, because we're adventurous.
Yes, adventures. Yes, we're all about adventures. And on our last trip, I guess I had just referenced that. We'll talk more about it on the next one. But one of the things that we did do is go snowshoeing for the first time. That
was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of challenge. I was surprised how
It
hard
was a
that
workout.
Yes.
I was breathing heavy. That was a workout.
I think we were out there for about an hour, right?
Yeah.
So that
You
was,
know, another one that we did was the catamaran
yes.
outside of Aruba. Oh, my goodness. That was beautiful.
Out on the ocean.
That was so fun.
Yes.
Anyway.
The ocean's a lot different. I don't know why. It just maybe because of the swells, they're so big as opposed to the little waves on the
Yeah.
on
And
the
it's so
lakes.
vast,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
So I've talked to some couples that are child-centered.
Yes.
So they do everything around their children.
Right.
They're raising children, and they're doing this pretty much individually. And what ends up happening is that when the children leave the house, they don't know each other anymore.
Right.
And so at that point, to reconnect is extremely difficult because it's somebody you don't even know anymore.
Right.
You know, you through all the phases of life and raising kids, you're changing constantly.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, the kids are gone, and it's like, you're not the person I married anymore.
It's like,
So-
who are you?
Yeah, so you have to have these getaways, and you have to plan these things, do them on purpose. It has to be a high enough priority
Yes.
that you actually do it, because you don't want to end up in there, because it's extremely difficult to reconnect again.
It is. Yeah. But we do make that a priority that, you know, we've got to take time for us. And now we don't have all the kids raising the kids, but even when we did, we made sure at least one weekend a year we went away, and we had to make arrangements to do that. So we can talk a little bit about that. But how to get away, you've got to shut off the noise.
Yes, we already talked about the phone.
Yes.
You almost have to throw it out.
Yes.
I mean, I know we need it for directions, so that it's cool for that. But the thing is always letting you know it's got something for you.
There's something going on.
There's something happening. I
Yeah.
got some bad news. Would you like to hear it?
No. Yeah, between social media and, you know, being accessible. Well, you don't want to be totally shut off accessible from the kids, but you've got to eliminate the noise of the kids. And sometimes the only way you can do is getting away.
And we went away for 2 weeks in another country without our cell phones.
Without our cell phone.
And how did we survive that? But we did.
We did it. But one thing we usually do is we'll go to Stony Creek, or a local park, and get away that way. It doesn't have to be for extended period of time. It could be just for a couple of hours, maybe a coffee shop, or, just changing the atmosphere. Sometimes that's all it. Watching the water.
At Stony Creek, for some reason, it's you can think. It's kind of like we've talked to our son-in-law and our daughter, and they go for walks all the time.
Yeah.
And that helps them think. For me, watching the water, just sitting there, if we got something to eat, a lunch, something, that's even better.
It's relaxing.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And that's the environment that we like. But it's purposely prepared. We're purposely preparing to have that level of intimacy together.
Yes.
And that is really important. And I'm not just talking about sex, but that helps too. That if you're purposely preparing for even sex, what do you want that to look like? Maybe it's you're going away somewhere and you want it to, kick it up a notch. So you're going to bring the candles. You're going to bring the extra things, that will create that environment.
Oil.
The what?
The warm massage oil.
Yeah, that would be nice. But we've done bed and breakfasts, hotels, choosing interesting areas to get away and just make it enjoyable, right?
And I love what you said, and we keep repeating this to everybody. Purposely prepare.
Yes.
On purpose, we have to do these things. And it's amazing because you would think that we would just naturally do these things, but you don't.
But some people are impulsive, and they can just say, you know what? Let's go. And they go, and which is fine, do what you got to do, but go.
Yeah.
Another thing is planning and budgeting is important, because what are your priorities? What is that going to look like? How much money do you have to spend? That's going to dictate what you can do, right?
If it doesn't make the budget, now assuming you're doing a budget,
yeah,
right?
Right.
If it doesn't make the budget, it's not a priority.
Right.
So your marriage is not a priority.
Yeah, you've got to put that in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to decide, are you going to go longer or shorter trip? Is it going to be a one day? Is it going to be overnight? Is it going to be weeks? And even a short day can be just as refreshing.
Yeah, if you need it. I think we went away for what? 2 nights, right?
Yes. Yeah, to
and that was perfect. We got to see the area.
Right.
It was a lot of snow.
Yes.
But it was just nice to get away.
I didn't want to get out of that bed. That bed was so luxurious. That was great for me.
I kept waiting. Okay, can I make noise yet? No. She's still sleeping.
Another thing we have done in the past is when we had the kids, we would tag team with another couple. So if we wanted to get away, we'd say, you know what? If you guys want to get away, we'll switch off. We'll watch your kids, you watch our kids, and try to make it even so that it's not like they're gone for a week and we're only gone for 2 days. Make it even, and at a time when it's convenient for them and it works out for them, and do whatever it's going to take for that to happen. Or ask family, if you have family. Maybe grandparents would be willing to take the kids, or an aunt or an uncle or whatever, but make that happen. Maybe you can hire somebody to come in and watch your kids if you trust them, right?
Yeah, we did that with 4 kids, and the other couple had 4 kids.
Yes.
So when we swapped kids, it was 8 kids in the house.
Yes, for a week.
Yeah.
That was all right, though.
And I like the 2-2-2 principle.
Okay.
2 weeks, you have a date night. So
Yes.
every 2 weeks. 2 months, you go on a little bit longer trip, maybe overnight, and then every 2 years you got to get away for at least a week or so.
Yes.
I prefer more frequently than that, but that's just a good principle to
Right. Some goals.
to get out and
Right.
get away.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. The primary thing is do it. You got to do it, right? I've seen, I've known many couples that have said, "Oh, I love how you guys go here and you go here and you do this and you make it happen." And then time goes by and they haven't made it happen for themselves. And before you know it, they have no time to do it. Or maybe they've spent the money they could have saved for that, but they put it on something else, right? And it reminds me of the story about the guy who builds his barns, the biblical story. The guy works and works and works. He's building a barn. And then he's like, well, if I do this, I can build a bigger barn and I can build a bigger barn. But in the end, he dies. Who's going to give it to you? So I say, spend your money now. Just go do it, because your marriage should be important enough that you would take that time to do it.
Don't plan on having fun later and then while away your whole life.
Right.
Building barns.
Right.
So with all the distractions, the busy life, couples need to take time to get refreshed.
Definitely.
They need to purpose to do that.
Right. So I challenge you, ask your spouse if they need refreshing. Do you need refreshing?
I do, actually.
Okay, let's plan another trip.
Warm and sunny.
So if they do need refreshing, where will that take you? We'd like to know about that.
Yeah, and hey, in our next episode, we're going to share some of our adventures.
Yes, our travel adventures.
Yes.
So we thank you for joining us for this episode of Adventures Walking as One. Please subscribe and share this with a friend. Visit our website at walkasone.net.
Thank you for listening to a WBRW TV produced podcast in Washington Township, Michigan. Our podcast can be found on Spotify, and our video programming can be watched on WBRWTV.com or on our broadcast channels in Washington, Bruce, and Romeo on Comcast and AT&T. If you're interested in using our podcast space or have any ideas of your own for a podcast, reach out to us now at WBRWpodcast@gmail.com. For more information on our organization, our content, or how you can get involved, visit WBRWTV.com. The opinions, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect the views of the Charter Township of Washington, Michigan Community Media, or WBRW-TV.